Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. I decided to grab the turbo timber and run out here. Had a full charged up battery to fly with, and couldn't let it just sit, right? So grabbed the turbo timber, thought I'd bring it out to the park and put it in the air and see how it goes. So I know what went wrong with the flight earlier. If you guys seen that, there's like, now that the storm, the little pop-up storm we had went through, it's pretty good out. One click of flaps on, guys. Anyways, I was saying, I know what went wrong. I looked up the description real fast, and the Challenger is only supposed to use a 3S battery, and this is a 4S battery. So I knew it'd work in the turbo timber. I didn't realize that the Challenger was only 3S. And that's one of the problems that you run into when you have a lot of airplanes that you fly. Sometimes you forget how many cells an airplane functions on. And I know that sounds absurd, but when you fly almost every day and you got more than 20 airplanes that you had in your rotation, then that kind of thing does happen. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those front lights right in the nose look super cool. And of course, it's got the strobe lights on the wingtips. They're not quite as bright. You guys probably can't see those, but and then it's got the nav lights on each wingtip. That green, oh, I forgot to turn the sound off. Sorry. Hopefully those guys don't start texting a whole bunch. Take it up into a stall. Well, that wasn't too pretty, but it worked. Let's take it this direction and do a loop. They were just playing some soccer here. And that's why I was at the church earlier. I was gonna fly here, but I got over here the first time and the park was completely packed. A lot of parents for soccer, you know. This turbo timber, guys, or even better would be the new one. Guys, you gotta have a turbo timber, or probably any of the timbers will work, but gotta have one of them in your stable for when problems happen. You can pull it out and fly it. Almost made the same mistake I did with the UMX. I tell you what, I'm gonna bring it in and shut the sound off, because there's a chance that my neighbors will start texting a whole bunch, and I don't want you guys to live through that. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get this back in the air. I'm flying with a bigger battery. I have the HRB 4S 3000 in there, and that was the big thing I was going to do with the Challenger. I was going to be able to fly it for a long time, and of course it was the Wrong size battery. The cells, the number of cells is way important. And the ESC, I got a feeling because I tried it so many times, I'm pretty sure I smoked it. Was able to take it from the knife edge into a stall and turn it around. If I give it lots of power, you can see it just noses right up. A lot of power, especially when you're flying this with the 4S battery. I fly it with both. It flies great with 3S, but if you have 4S, you can get it to do a lot more stuff. And of course, if you're flying with floats or skis, you'll probably want to have it with a 4S battery. When I take it up there where it turns into a shadow, I lose track of what direction it is facing. And so for me, that's one good thing about the lights on the nose and the red and green on the wingtips. It helps me figure out which direction. If it's going away from me, I won't see those lights on the nose. There we go, an inverted loop. And it rolls a little too... I know I've seen other people do like a snap with it. It's not incredibly awesome looking because it rolls a little bit slow, even in high rates. That was a no flap touch and go. Carried a little bit of speed because of the grass. It's going to slow it down. In fact, you wouldn't really need to use flaps when landing in the grass, unless you're just wanting to slow it way down. And the grass really will slow it down. Now for takeoffs though, the flaps really help it get out of the grass. So it is very helpful. So I do suggest using the flaps when taking off from the grass. But for landings, you really don't need it, but you can, type of thing. I'm sure if I was full flaps, I get it so slow it almost stop on the dime. You can see I'm very, very much comfortable doing that knife edge from right to left. Not real comfortable going the other direction. Oh shoot. It's just a little bit hard for me. It doesn't feel natural to pull the sticks away from each other. When you go right to left, you're pushing the right and left sticks together. So you're making it want to turn right with the rudder, but left with the ailerons to maintain that knife edge. And that's super easy, but when you're trying to pull them apart, it doesn't work as good. Just takes a little practice. I know plenty of guys that can do it. There we go. Now I'm doing it a little bit, but it's falling. And it did give me the timer, but like I said, I'm flying with quite a bit bigger battery than normal. I want to go full flaps to really slow this thing down. And we're in no wind, so that's all flaps slowing it down. Let's bring it around, because I kind of had it going quick when I dropped the flaps. And then I tried to bring motor in, and it made it a little bit difficult to control. And that's not safe either. That is only AS3X. I'm doing the controlling. It's awful, but the reality is, especially in Ohio, the wind dies down when it's dark out almost. So if you want really calm weather, you got to get out here right as dusk is coming on. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now, because we had pretty decent wind earlier today. And see, I was just a few feet off the ground that whole time. All right, we'll take it back around and bring it in for the landing, nice and slow. I seen these guys over here for the little kids soccer. They were holding this giant trophy like the Stanley Cup or something. Pretty incredible. But I tell you what, this turbo timber, and I'm sure that the new evolution with the easier access, and of course it would be telling me right now if I was low on battery, because it has the smart ESC in it. Would be pretty nifty. So Victor, I don't know if you were talking to me or somebody else, but I think that ESC is smoked. It's probably needing replaced now, because it quit making noise to the motor. So it's probably toast. And that's my fault, because I kept plugging it in even though it wasn't working. It was telling me there was something wrong, and I kept trying, so I feel pretty bad about that. I'll get it replaced. We'll get it back in the air, because that's a great flying airplane. Just got to remember that it works on 3S. What I need to do is start writing the max cells inside the cockpit where the battery goes. Put it in there with a piece of tape, something, so that I know. That way, when I pull an airplane I haven't flown in a little bit, I'm not just guessing. I've had a few, when I pull them out, I gotta look it up. And this time I thought I knew, and I was wrong. So that was my fault with that was the OMP Challenger. And I tried to fly it with a 4S, and of course the motor wouldn't work, because the ESC is only designed to operate with a 3S. Now that motor on there looks like it could almost handle 6S. It is giant. And I think that's what messed me up. But anyways, today we were able to take that battery and throw it in the turbo timber, and it's always fun to fly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the flight. If you like these videos and you haven't done it yet, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That way YouTube knows you like these videos. And until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. Dan, I haven't tried it yet. I will before I go yanking anything out of the plane. But since it quit making noise, I got a feeling. You guys have a great evening.